It's Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti.
All right, so I want to give you a PSA here for the picks. And you'll see it on the show sheet, Booms, and Scones was busting my chops. This is in reality versus doing a radio show, podcast, whatever you want to call it. There is no way I could ever advocate for people to take their hard-earned money and go nuts with this card this weekend. I can sit in front of a laptop and grind data, and if I can't find 5 or 6 plays I'd play in real life, I owe it to you to tell you, take what we say with the tiniest, most granular grain of salt this week. Boomer, this is a wild set of matchups. So I just, PSA for the people, if you think I'm out here betting all these games this week, you are sadly mistaken.
The other interesting thing about this, and last night Will Levis was a rookie quarterback that was starting a game. You're going to have Jaron Hall starting for the Vikings. You're going to have Clayton Tune starting for the Cardinals. And you're going to have Aiden O'Connell starting for the Raiders on top of, C.J. Stroud and, of course, Bryce Young. And
Jordan Love and Taylor Heineke and Billy Baget, your guy in Chicago.
Tyson Bagent. Stop with that. Be nice. He's got a family, and actually, I think he's hanging in there pretty well.
Yeah, hell of a performance against the Chargers last week, but we'll let it go.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you going into that game? It was going to be totally different for him because he was playing against a desperate Chargers team, and it turned out that way.
Well, we're going against Chargers again this week, so let's party. Let's do the picks.
Picks of the week.
Oh, the Brunch Bowl live from, Frankfurt, Germany? Booms, 9:30 in the morning. We got a game on when it should be on at 8 o'clock at night. Kansas City, Miami. KC laying 1.5. One note, you can tell me it's laughable if you want. I've been doing some reading. There's going to be almost 20-mile-an-hour winds in Frankfurt, and they don't usually close the roof. This is the type of research you're going to get about a Frankfurt football stadium. What do you want to do with this game?
I think the NFL will tell them, close the roof. We need to make sure that Tua can throw and go toe-to-toe against Patrick Mahomes. Look, I'm going to go with the Dolphins here. I'm going to take the points, and I'm going to go with the Dolphins. This game has been circled by one particular player since the schedules were announced back in April, and that one player was Tyreek Hill. And it's too bad this game is not in Kansas City because this is a Kansas City home game, by the way. But I do like the Dolphins. They are getting healthier on their offensive line. The Chiefs' defense has been very good. But I'll tell you one thing, Kansas City's offense, and you know this, we've been talking about all year. They have not been right all year long. And last week against the Broncos, man, that was a really bad performance. So I think they'll bounce back. I think this will be a high-scoring game, but I'm going to take the Dolphins and the points.
Yeah, it was a lean to the Dolphins. I know I put in here, help, please. Because it's two great teams. Game I want to watch. You don't have an advantage with the number. I lean Dolphins here, though. I think coming off that terrible performance a couple weeks back, I just look at it, it's a proving ground. People are going to say you haven't beaten anybody until you do. This is an opportunity. I'll take the Dolphins. This next game, again, shouldn't be televised. Packers laying 3, hosting the Rams. I can't with this Packers team, Boomer.
All right, I know you're not a big fan of Jordan Love, and nor is anybody else these days. His performance has gotten worse as the season has gone on. But who is playing quarterback for the Rams? Can you tell me? Is it going to be Brett Rippon?
Oh, Boise State's finest?
Yeah, maybe. Because you got Matthew Stafford dealing with a throwing thumb injury. He's got a UCL, and I don't know if it's a tear or a strain, but it certainly is bothering him. And as us talking right now, I think it may be a game-time decision. I have not seen anything from Sean McVay that Stafford is not playing, but I don't think he has practiced this week. So if it is Brett Rippon, I'm taking the Packers, and I'm going to lay the 3 points.
I'll go Packers. I think my bigger disappointment than Jordan Love is that vaunted defense where they've had like 38 first-round picks the last 38 years. And that defense, I just walk away routinely unimpressed. But I'll take the Pack and pretend this game doesn't exist.
So you're telling me that Aaron Rodgers did have an argument then?
Oh, he had a big argument.
Yes.
Pats laying the 3. Against the Commanders, you have to choose, are you betting on Mac Jones, who they would have given away for inedible arrangements, versus a Commanders team that now has sold the farm? What?
What is right? I know one thing, that Sam Howell's going to throw the ball like 50 times because that's exactly what Eric Bieniemy's doing with him. He's actually, when you think about the amount of sacks he's had, the amount of dropbacks he's had, and I think I was frustrated with you last week when I was telling you, I wasn't frustrated with you particularly. I was frustrated more with their offense. Like, can somebody give Sam Howell an opportunity to get rid of the ball quickly in the face of a blitz?
Yeah.
I think Bill Belichick will have something for Eric Bieniemy, and the loss of those two players on that defensive line for the Washington Commanders tells me that the morale in that building is low. So if there were ever a game the Patriots are going to win, it's going to be this one, and I'll lay the points.
Agreed. Yeah, I'm with you completely. And again, it's a lot like Sam Howell's last year at North Carolina. He's just getting crushed. I feel for him. I'll take the Patriots. Texans laying 2.5 hosting the Bucks.
Oh, boy, I'll tell you what.
You having fun yet?
This one I don't like. This is one I'd love to veto. But I do think if there's a team, they both are still in the mix for the playoffs. The Bucks still have a shot at winning the NFC South. I do not believe that the Texans are going to catch the Jacksonville Jaguars. No way. So I think that the Bucks are the ones that are the more desperate team here. Just for that matter alone, I'm going to take Baker Mayfield and the Bucks one more time, and I'll take the points.
Yeah, and it's interesting. Last week you kind of saw it. You're a rookie. You shouldn't be favored by 3 on the road. They come home. Now they're favored again. Todd Bowles, this defense, do you dial something up? The Bucs offense, I can't figure out. I hate this game. I would lean slightly to the Bucs. The problem is I can't get 3. At 2.5, you're like, do I just take the home team? Oh, God. Texans laid at 2.5. Just move. I would never put my money on that game, people. Come on. All right, Browns laying 8 against the Cards. This could be P.J. Walker. It could be Deshaun Watson. It could be Clayton Tune. It could be me. What do you want to do?
It's not going to be Kyler Murray, though. That's the key.
No.
And so they're going to throw Clayton Tune out there to the Wolves because that's exactly what the Browns' defense is. They are a bunch of wolves, and Jim Schwartz is going to have them rocking and rolling against this rookie quarterback. And the reason I talk about rookie quarterbacks, backup quarterbacks playing, especially in tough spots like this, Arizona going to Cleveland, what's the weather going to be like? What's the situation going to be like? Cleveland's still very much in the mix. This defense will be all over Clayton Tune. I'm going to lay the 8 points. I see this as a blowout spot, and I think the Browns should win this game by 17 to 20 points.
Now, and again, Watson has practiced the last few days, but, quote, doesn't know if he's going to play. So can I just get P.J. Walker to not give the game away? That's really all this is. Browns lay the 8. Saints laying 8.5 against the Bears. You owe your guy. You have to take your guy here, right?
Well, you know what? I would take my guy, but I do think that Derek Carr found something last week, and finally he's waking up and understanding his team, understanding his offense, understanding the coaches. They played well last week. This defense is no joke. I keep telling you, it's a top 5 defense in the league. It just gets a little bit tougher for Tyson Bagent, a little bit tougher. I hate the number here. I'm going to take the Bears, but I think the Saints will win the game by a touchdown.
This is a veto for me because you just nailed it. This number stinks. But I can't. Not after what the Bears did to me last week. But do I trust – Derek Carr – shame on me. I should have had this in the notes, Boomer. If I go back and look, I think Derek Carr might be the worst quarterback against the spread as a favorite the last 5 years. Absolutely atrocious as a favorite.
Doesn't shock me. Doesn't shock me.
Know.
And that's probably why Josh McDaniels wanted to get rid of him after giving him a contract extension last year.
Great organization. Yeah, it would be the Saints for me, but I'm vetoing this game. All right, Ravens laying 6 hosting Seattle.
Yeah, this is obviously we know the number 17-1. That's Lamar versus NFC teams. In comes Seattle, and I told you last week one of the reasons why is because these teams don't get to see Lamar. They don't understand how quick, how fast he is, and he's become a better passer than ever before. He's right there in the mix for the MVP of the league. This is a lot of points against the Seattle team. I like the Ravens to win the game, but I'm going to take the 6. I'm going to take the 6 points, and I'll take Geno Smith to have a bounce back game here. If he just doesn't turn the ball over. I think that Seattle defense is good enough to kind of keep this game close and tight to the end. I could see this being like a 24-20 type of game.
Yeah, we were on the Ravens last week. That was a lousy backdoor cover by Arizona.
Oh, you ain't kidding, bro.
I was horrible. But, it is. I know. Trust me. I don't want to relive it again. But, This is one the number looks inflated, and you go, wait, this looks too easy. You're going to give me Seattle getting 6. Lamar's not good as a favorite. I just think the Ravens team is different. I think I like this spot for them. I like when Seattle's got to travel. I'm going to lay the 6. And I'm not a Lamar guy, but I respect the way he's playing. And I really think right here, right now, like the perspective would be so different if P.J. Walker and Stefanski, by the way, didn't hand that game away last week. I'm going to take the Ravens. Atlanta laying 4. This is Heineke versus Jaron Hall against the Vikings.
Right, 5th rounder out of BYU, Jaron Hall. So we'll see what he's got to offer against this Atlanta team. We had Atlanta on our air last week, and at halftime they were down, and I said, it's time for Arthur Smith to make the change to Taylor Heineke. Desmond Ridder is killing the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons have a very athletic team. You've been saying it since week 1. And you also have been saying, and rightfully so, you've been very critical of Desmond Ridder and the decision to stick with him through these games. They finally go to Taylor Heineke last week in the second half. Guess what? He actually gets him in the end zone. I think he deserves to start this week, and I think this is an opportunity. This game is going to be really, really tight. I would take the Vikings and their defense to keep it close. I really would. I would veto. I'm going to veto this game. I'm not going to pick the game, but I would take the Vikings and the points. But I'm going to veto the game.
Yeah, and Boomer, I'm with you. Normally, I'd be the guy telling you I'll just take the point. I got no read on Jaron Hall as a pro. I just can't. It's very similar to anything with the Cardinals. Like, it's such variance. I'm going to veto it. It'd be a lean Atlanta. Let's go to the Colts and Panthers. Believe it or not, I actually really like this game. Colts laying 3.
Yeah, this is a kind of a revenge spot for the head coach of the Carolina Panthers.
Come on.
And that's man, Frank Reich. And
let's go.
And finally, his quarterback outplayed the second pick in the draft last week, Bryce Young.
Because they changed some stuff, Boomer. They changed some stuff up. They got him out of the pocket. They worked on the edge a little bit. I liked some of the adjustments they made.
Yeah, and look, it's a work in progress. I can tell you firsthand, they love the kid. They love how he reacts and works with Andy Dalton. It was interesting. I was wondering whether or not they were going to trade Andy Dalton. And I don't think that they traded him, not because people didn't want to trade for him, is because they realized just how important he is to Bryce Young. So I'm going to take the Panthers here and the points.
Yes, my man. I actually like this game. I know it sounds gross, and people are like, wait, you made fun of these other games, but you like this? That's me. I like the Panthers. All right, Raiders laying 1.5. Hosting the Giants. Okay,
we talked about this in the opening, and we were talking about the Raiders and their dysfunction and how Antonio Pierce is going to try to give them a bump, and he's going to pick up their morale and all of that, and I'm sure he will. They're going with Aiden O'Connell. The Giants' defense has been great the last 2 weeks. Wink Martindale has simplified things. He's deep. He's a little bit more man coverage. He's still blitzing a lot. And Daniel Jones is back, and this is the Daniel Jones moment in this season. This is the inflection point for him as a player, to show that with Saquon Barkley, they are a tandem that should be able to go on the road, beat a rookie quarterback with a rookie head coach in the middle of the freaking season. So, if you want to prove yourself that you belong here making $82 million, this is a game that you have to win. I am taking the Giants and the points.
Everything that man just said is spot on, yet the Raiders are favored. I will take the Raiders. This is the Latte Larry Spite Store play of the week. I am in official root against my own team mode. Raiders lay the 1.5. We need a quarterback. All right, let's go. Eagles laying the 3, hosting Dallas. Great football game. I don't know that it's a great betting game. The line is right where it should be. Who do you like?
I'm taking Dallas on the road. I know that Dak Prescott plays pretty well against the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll keep it relatively simple. There's a lot of pressure on the Dallas Cowboys. And, the Eagles have given up a lot of points. I mean, do you realize I think the Commanders have scored like 64 points in 2 games against the Eagles? I got to believe that this is going to be a high-scoring game and that Dallas should be able to keep up with them, and I'll take the 3 points.
It's a lean to the Eagles for me. I just don't trust Dak on the road. Everything you're saying is right, but I worry that his Hurts hurt. I mean, that this injury's a thing. I'll take the 3. I'll go with you on this. Give me Dallas. 30 seconds or less. Chargers laying 3.5 at the Jets. We got to take the Jets, right?
Yeah, we definitely got to take the Jets. And the reason we got to take the Jets is their defense gives good quarterbacks fits in MetLife Stadium. Great atmosphere. And I think this is an opportunity for Zach Wilson to have his best game of the year against a Chargers defense that gives up about 300 yards passing a game and 24 points per game.